Mercy, there are twists and turns in this book. The ending, the twisty turns. You just don't know. Many twisty turns. Many twisty turns. Anyway, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-O-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. And I'm trying this as a one and done. I don't know if we'll do it again. I'll try it. So this is book 20 of the FBI Sherlock and Savich series. And unfortunately, there's only 7 left because Catherine wrote the 7th and announced it was her final book in this series. And she's knee deep in writing historicals. She's writing all these Sherbooks, not necessarily Sherbook, but some of the characters, but offshoots. I've asked her if she'd go back to the original Sherbooks, and she's told me no. And I hope one day she'll go back to the FBI series at some point, maybe a few years down the road. She wanted to do more cheery romance stuff, I guess. She was just missing it all there. I wish she'd have gone to 30, made it even, but she came to a decision at the end of 27, and when we get there, we'll talk about it a little bit. So it's just been a difficult year for me, a little. A week maybe. I just discovered I have been checking for my author's next book, and I was checking the other day, and I found out why I can't find anything. She died. Not only did she die, but she died last year. And this other lady died the year before, and I'm like, how did I not know this? I miss my Romantic Times book review magazine that told me everything. 2 of my favorite authors now are deceased. And I was heavily, if you have not watched all of my Victoria Thompson, Sarah Brandt, Frank Malloy series, I'm glad she took it as far as she did before she passed, though. So here we are with Insidious, book 20, and we have a couple of different cases going on here. We have Sherlock and Savich. And be prepared for spoilers. Sorry, but that's just what I do is spoilers. I like to talk about the book. I just finished it not seconds ago. And, so Sherlock and Savich, a friend of Savich's grandmother, this woman who's been a friend of the family for a really, really long time, it has been someone's poisoning her with arsenic. And she kept calling a doctor, and her family doctor's like, whatever. But she finally calls in Dylan and Lacey and says, hey, look, this is what's going on. They have her tested. 100% arsenic poisoning's going on here. And she's a really, really rich lady, and she's 80 plus years old. And as far as she knows, her family's in good financial condition, so no one would want to murder her for her will records there. And Sherlock and Savich look at the kids closely. One of the kids even gets suspicious, and the finger starts pointing. But this just doesn't seem right. But the finger keeps getting pointed. Then you've got this other case that you're like, huh? A lot of this other case, it just hits you out of the blue. They do spend time on it, but a lot of it didn't make sense until they explain it on the end. I really was pretty much lost on the second case. And then there's a third sort of kind of case. We've known Griffin Hammersmith, and Ruth Noble, and her sheriff husband, and the kids, and out there. And we met his sister Delcy, who had gotten sick. and she goes to Stanislaus, and she's in town, and she falls in love with one of the suspects, one of the prime suspects in the old lady murder. Then we've got two minor romances or hints at romance. No. Well, actually, Dulcie, but skip that right now. We've got the Dylan's got a new girl, Cammie, and he wants her to go out to California. She's got ties out there. She's got family out there. There's a serial killer killing these actresses, and they have as far as the cops didn't realize it was a serial killer till somebody else put it together. They were all actresses. All of their electronics was taken. Their cell phones were taken after the murder. Their throats were all slit. They were all in bed, blah, 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 blah. So there's a whole bunch of coincidences there. And they finally decided they need a serial killer. And because it's multi-state lines, they decide it's a serial killer, and they need to put a task force together. So Dylan sends Cam out to handle the task force. And she knew a couple of the victims, too. Not closely, but like from high school or college days or whatever. And it was, when you got this, it's just, fill in that sentence any which way you want. That last word is blank. There's just a line there. You can just say it's good, it's just bad, it's just horrible, it's confusing. You can say it's just whatever you want. And I did not get it. I did not understand it. I did not get it. I'm gonna go back and look again. Maybe I'll see it. It really wasn't explained all that well. By the time I got to the end, I was like, oh, come on. I was getting a little, I was like, okay, come on, tell me what happened, why? Because the finger kept being pointed this way. And then this second person comes in, and they're looking for the serial killer, and there's no traces, and blah, 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 blah. And then the second guy comes in, and then you're thinking, copycat killer. Because all of the victims had been this way, and the copycat comes in and does this way. So now they know they've got a second killer out there in California, Vegas, Nevada, that section out there. And I just didn't understand it. They kept interviewing this guy. There's no, it's like a blank, 0 suspects, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then the guy gets thrown in your face, and he's like, here. And I still didn't get it. And they interviewed this guy, and they interviewed this guy, and they interviewed this guy. And I just didn't see it. But I saw the other guy. I saw the copycat. You saw him right up front and center. It was screaming bloody murder. He was the killer. You could just yes, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him. But he was, and you didn't understand why. There was just some stuff about the first guy. But the second guy, the copycat killer, you saw that coming 6 miles away. So those are your 2 cases, or 3 cases. You have your serial killer in California, then you have the copycat killer in California, and apparently the 2 guys know each other. In the end, they were talking. I don't know what was going on there. I still don't understand it. And then, of course, you have the minor romance with Cam and Daniel. Minor. Really minor. Barely mentioned. Then you have the East Coast with Dylan and Savich and Venus's kids. And they're investigating the kids. And the finger keep pointing at this one kid, and he's being set up. And then you have this other person come in and do something, and you're like, huh? What? Who? What? Who? What? Who? And then you have this little romance going on between Rob and Darcy, and Darcy's like, but excuse me, you were with her the other day. You took her to your house and said she, blah, 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 blah. Because she found out from Savich that this guy went to dinner with this girl. And Delcy here just spent 48 hours in bed with the guy. So she's just like, huh? Why didn't you tell me? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you have to read for his explanation. So you have that little other plot. And then there's a twisty turny coming in here that you did not see coming. It breaks through all the muddle and shoots you in your face that this person did it. And the beeline goes like this, and Sherlock and Savich reveal it to the family, and they're like, what? Really? The killer was in the house. They just had to figure out which one of them it was. So that's book 20. And this will be book 20 and a half, or book 4 in the Brit FBI series. Thing is huge. It's gonna take a few days. Almost 500 pages. So, we finished this one, book 20. So then, book 20 and a half, or book 4 for the FBI series. And then, we'll come back to Sherlock and Savich in book 21. But in the meantime, I just got a present and I'm just gonna go check it out. And we'll have to see what happens with that. It's a hot day here. Good Lord. I don't know where that came from. I've been here too long. What is it? Give me I need a pizza. I need a New York pizza. I need a bagel, egg, and cheese. I need a real bakery. I haven't seen a real bakery in years. A real deli, kosher, pickles, potato salad, macaroni salad, real New York pastrami. I miss New York food bad. I'm a New Yorker through and through. I am. I miss it. Somehow, somewhere. I don't know what happened. Sorry. I'm tired. It's been a day. That was an interesting book. Those twists and turns at the end, I just did not see coming. Although on retrospect, you're like, how did you not know? It's staring you in the face. We'll see what happens. If you could hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it so much. Have a good one.